Good evening, everybody. This is Archana, and I'm here to discuss a wonderful shlok from Subhashitani. The shlok is talking about the characteristics of a refined student, Seshya. So, as in, who is the one who is eligible to be a Seshya or a student for the sake of attaining any information and knowledge? So, in Subhashitani, the characteristics are told as काकचेष्टावको ध्यानं स्वाननिद्रा तथैव च अल्पहारी गृहत्यागी विद्यार्थिनः पंचलक्षणम. Means there are 5 characteristics of a student. The one is swananidra. So swan means dog. So he should sleep like a dog. We can notice the sleep pattern of a dog. It is so fragile and he's always aware even while sleeping. So the first characteristics of an aware student is that he will have to develop the tendency of kind of imbibing the attribute and the sleep pattern of swan like a dog. So the dog, even if he's sleeping, but she's always awake. So with that aware consciousness, he should or she should sleep. So that is the first characteristics of a good student, that is Swananidra. Swananidra Bako Dhyanam. So the bug, that is duck. So he will have to have an attention or focus like a duck. So the duck is so focused all the time. The same way the student have to remain oriented and focused, so that whatever information is being given to him or her, that the student is able to retain that information. Otherwise, in case if you are not focused and oriented, the kind of information will get dissipated. So the second characteristics of a good student is that he need to be like a kind of duck in terms of imbibing the attribute of orientation from the duck. Swananidra Bako Dhyanam Kakacheshta. So Kakacheshta is another third attribute of a good student. So what is Kakacheshta now? Cheshta means longing and Kak means crow. So he will have to develop the longing like a crow. One will have to have a longing like a crow. That's a very important aspect of being a good disciple. Unless and until we have a craving or the longing for the knowledge, we will never be able to land up to some position. So Kakacheshta, the longing like a crow, is third eligibility in order to land up into the category of a good student. So Swananidra Bako Dhyanam Kakacheshta Tathaiva cha Alpahari Grihatyagi. So what we have to do is we'll have to focus on the diet also, the diet which we take. So Alpahari, so he will have to it doesn't mean that the student is the one fulfilling of his stomach all the time, and he's so crazy for food and outside stuff. So he will have to develop the tendency of eating so less. So that is another attribute of a good teacher, good disciple, good student, that he is not eating irrelevant thing. He is eating to an extent what is required or what is needed for his body. So Alpahari, and then Grihatyagi. He will have to leave all kind of worldly attachment, he will have to develop the tendency of having say over his senses. So if all these 5 attributes of Kakacheshta, Bako Dhyanam, Swananidra, Alpahar, Grihatyag is achieved, these attributes are being imbibed in a student, then he will hold the eligibility of becoming a perfect disciple, and whatever knowledge will be given to him or her, that will not get dissipated. Jai Gurudev.